is,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, I feel like those are some of the most important skills they could possibly be learning and earning credits for,
Right.
because they have to use those skills throughout their adulthood. Their
Mm-hmm.
self-determination, their self-advocacy, and we need classes where we're able to spend time doing that. So
Yeah.
absolutely, they should get credit
Mm-hmm.
for that.
Yeah. Well, I think I can't remember who I was talking to. We were talking about people skills, and I thought that's really got to be at the top of the list for every high schooler because if you look at employers and what they're looking for in employees, eventually those rise to the top. It's not like, can you do math well?
Yeah,
Yes, if you're an engineer, that's important, but again, they're going to come back to those people skills again. Can you
yeah.
work in a team? Because that matters even more. And
You
it's,
ask
yeah.
good questions that are,
Mm-hmm.
that can you have good social boundaries?
Mm-hmm.
Can you do those things? Those soft skills are, um, those are the reasons that our young adults get fired from jobs because they haven't built those skills up and
Right.
been given opportunities to practice and do that in a high
Mm-hmm.
school setting or, just practicing, learning, growing through those awkward moments,
Right.
so
And that goes back to what you were talking about when we first started, too, about wanting to get your students out into the real world to practice these things. And so much of our transition planning should be looking for those opportunities
right,
to get them out, try it out. And if they fail, it's in a safe environment. It's
right,
only a one-time thing. It's not like your job is hinging on this.
right.
So, yeah.
Some of those transition goals, the goals for, our vocational goals, maybe it does look like, that they do a job shadow, that they do an informational interview. They do those value surveys, interests, and build
Mm-hmm.
those things, those activities,
Right.
so that they, how do they know if they want that type of job?
Right.
If they want to work at Home Depot or they want to work at, Microsoft. How would they know? They,
Mm-hmm.
they have to have opportunities to just get out there
Yeah.
and see what it looks like and feels like. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, exploring those. Sadly, in public education, our funding hasn't allowed for us to do that.
Right.
And I think so much more flexibility can be done in a homeschool environment where you can go out and explore those things a lot
Mm-hmm.
more easily than we can in public ed.
Yeah, yeah, because if you have a friend who's willing to take your student under their wing for, a day or a week, or to kind of show them the ropes, and that's permissible. You can make that happen, and if they want to incorporate, working with your neighbor's kids, if they're, instead of doing child development in a classroom setting, we can just babysit and be under, a mom's helper, or however that works out. There's so many unique ways that we can build that out, as well as community service at the same time, which is an awesome way to do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to miss out on an opportunity. I want to talk about also our vocational rehabilitation
Mm,
offices that we have access to, and
yeah.
we're seeing a lot more opportunities with it's called WIOA, the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act,
Hmm.
that was passed, and that vocational rehabilitation counselors are starting to work with young adults earlier on.
Oh,
So
really?
at
Huh.
15, 16 years old, I want to encourage people to connect with their DVR offices and be able to
Yeah.
see, hey, are there some opportunities for work-based learning? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and if there is a documented disability, they should qualify for those things. So,
That's
making
awesome.
sure that earlier on that those connections with
Mm-hmm.
vocational rehabilitation or developmental disabilities administration, exploring those earlier than later